Greetings, YouTube. This is another episode of TEW 2016 Red vs. Blue. This is episode 19, Monday Night Raw. This is week 2 of September 2016, and the show is being held in front of 9,346 people at the Richmond Coliseum in Richmond, Virginia. And we open the show with Seth Rollins' music hits as he makes his way down to the ring, his first appearance in front of a live audience after what went down at SummerSlam, if you remember last week. Stephanie McMahon gave Seth Rollins the night off. She met him at the front of the building as he was trying to enter the building with security, and she basically told him to take a week off and to cool his head and, think about things and come back re-energized. So Seth Rollins is back and he cuts a promo, basically still calling out Triple H because he wants answers as to why he betrayed him at SummerSlam. And this brings out the Forgotten. Cody Rhodes has the mic, and he's like, Seth, you want to know why Triple H betrayed you? Now, I don't know why Triple H betrayed you, but I think I might have an idea, because back in NXT, according to my father, you had an ego. You had this big head. You thought NXT was beneath you. You felt you should have been fast-tracked to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown and be given titles. Just be handed titles because you wrestled all over the world for years, and that somehow automatically makes you worthy of being a champion in the WWE. So, based on that, it doesn't surprise me that someone like Triple H would, basically toss you aside because your ego gets in the way of your success. See, and this is why me, Drew, Barrett, Sandow, and the Ryback, we're back here, is to clean up the WWE of people like you, the people who think just because you were some big name in some bingo halls and some high school gyms across the country doesn't mean you are, you deserve to main event pay-per-views, to get title shots. You have to earn those opportunities, something that we collectively earned throughout the years in the WWE that we never got because of people like you. So, I think, Seth, you should, shut your mouth and go to the back and admit that you're nothing but a failure. And at that point, Seth, basically gets tired of hearing Cody go on, and he basically sacrifices himself and does a suicide dive from the ring into the outside onto the Forgotten. And he, starts throwing down fists on top of each and every one of them. But, of course, it's 5 against 1. So Seth easily gets overtaken, and they basically lay waits to him and lay him out to end the segment. So that opening segment got a 80B, which isn't too bad. No worker improvements. Next segment, in a decent match, Cesaro defeated Bully Ray in 1340 by pinfall with a neutralizer. Bully Ray had an in-ring performance of 60, and Cesaro had an in-ring performance of 68. No worker improvements. The match got a 69 C+ rating. I was kind of hoping for at least a B-, because they're both upper mid-carders, but it is what it is. We move right along. In a bout that has subpar wrestling and little heat, Breezango defeated Heath Slater and Bo Dallas in 7:58, when Fandango defeated Bo Dallas by pinfall with a last dance. Bo Dallas had an in-ring performance of 46, Heath Slater 45, Fandango 49, and Tyler Breeze 52. No worker improvements. The match got a 53 C- rating. And then in another match, and a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, Finn Balor defeated Eric Rowan in 8-13 by a pinfall with a 19-16. Rowan had an in-ring performance of 44, and Finn Balor had an in-ring performance of 58. And Balor is improving in performance skills. The match got a 56 C- rating. So it's just a match to try to get Finn Balor over a bit more. Because even after, being in the ring with John Cena and, getting the rub off of being in segments with John Cena, he's still being pushed as, I believe, an opener, which I was hoping by now at least he'd move up to lower mid-card or mid-card, but we still got some work to do. Next segment, a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat. Natalya defeated Tamina Snuka at 7:09 by submission with a sharpshooter. Tamina was accompanied by ringside by Charlotte. Tamina had an in-ring performance of 40, Natalya 49. No worker improvements. The match got a 50 D+ rating. So basically, Charlotte's at ringside with Tamina, building up to a match between Charlotte and Natalya. In a terrible match, Red Dragon defeated Darren Young and Neville in 8-17, when Bobby Fish defeated Darren Young by submission with a Push Hook Deluxe Edition. Neville had an in-ring performance of 56, Darren Young 39, Kyle O'Reilly 43, and Bobby Fish 35. Kyle O'Reilly's improving in technical skills, and the match got a 52 D+ rating. So yeah, still trying to build up Red Dragon. Next match, and a decent match, Sheamus defeated Jack Swagger in 9:33 by pinfall with a bro kick. Sheamus had an in-ring performance of 74, Swagger 54, no worker improvements. The match got a 69 C+ rating, so it's just a match to get Sheamus over a little bit more. In a terrible match, Braun Strowman defeated Lance Bravado in 4:40 by pinfall with a running power slam. Bravado had an in-ring performance of 24, Strowman 51. No worker improvements. The match got a 40 D- rating, so basically a squash match to get Braun over as a monster. And next segment, Lana and the United States Champion Rusev is in the ring, and they are issuing a United States Open Challenge as he's gone through 4 title defenses already, and he's ready for defense number 5. And he's calling out anyone in the back who wants to step up and challenge him for the United States Championship. And that segment got a 66 C+ rating. And that challenge is answered by The Big Show. And that got a 65 C rating. So we're setting up Rusev against The Big Show for the WWE United States Championship. And that match got a 69 C+ rating and a decent match. Rusev defeated The Big Show in 12:56 by submission with an accolade after interference by Bully Ray. Rusev makes defense number 5 of his WWE United States Championship. Get out of here. So basically what happens is Bully Ray comes out and knocks the Big Show out with a chain, which allows Rusev to get the accolade on the Big Show. The Big Show's out, so the ref had no choice but to call for the bell. If you remember last week, Bully Ray was taunting the Big Show for losing to Braun Strowman at SummerSlam, and the Big Show knocked out Bully Ray in response, so this was Bully Ray's way of getting back at the Big Show for last week. The Big Show had an in-ring performance of 61, Rusev 73, no worker improvements. Once again, kind of hoping for at least a B- rating, considering Both of them, I think Rusev is, I'm not sure, I think both of them are upper mid-carder, I think, or main eventer, I'm not 100% sure. So I was hoping for a little higher rating there, but I digress. And then we go to a backstage interview. Renee Young is with John Cena. And Renee Young is asking John about his upcoming Universal Championship defense against Drew McIntyre at the upcoming Fall Brawl pay-per-view in 2 weeks' times. And yes, I did make a change to the pay-per-view schedule. If you remember, the September Raw pay-per-view in 2016 was Clash of Champions. I don't really like that pay-per-view name, especially considering, I mean, one, that was a sort of like Saturday night, WCW's version of Saturday Night's Main Event, where it was a, cable TV like special, and Clash of the Champions. You would think all titles would be defended, but it's a Raw branded pay-per-view. So I got rid of Clash of Champions and replaced it by another former WCW pay-per-view, Fall Brawl. So that will be the Raw branded pay-per-view for September. But basically, John Cena, he's hyping that upcoming match and his upcoming match with Damien Sandow up next. And he, saying how, once again, we got a bunch of guys trying to make their name off of John Cena. They're disgruntled former employees. They feel John Cena, used backstage pull to keep them down. And John's like, from day one, I've avoided being political. I don't play political games. I prefer to do my actions inside the ring. And it's not his fault that, people like Sandow, Barrett, Ryback couldn't cut the mustard the first time around, and now they have to, band together and jump people from behind and outnumber people to gain an advantage in this company. But he's been there before, and he's overcome, people like that in the past, and he's going to do it again. So that segment got a 61C rating. And John Cena against Damien Sandow got a 72B- rating. In a decent match, John Cena defeated Damien Sandow in 11:50 by submission with an STF. Sandow had an in-ring performance of 54, and Cena had an in-ring performance of 84. Sandow is improving in technical skills, so not bad. And the B- rating isn't too bad, considering Sandow is a mid-carder. And we close the show with the Forgotten jumping John Cena and beating him down in another 5-on-1 attack, which is the MO for the Forgotten. They've got the numbers game. And the beatdown finishes with Drew McIntyre giving John Cena a Claymore kick. And the show ends with Drew McIntyre posing with the Universal title over John Cena's laid out body. The segment got a 78B rating, so a strong way to end the show. And hopefully, I'm hoping for a B- show, but I'm going to guess it's another C+, which seems to be the trend. And we got C+, 71C+. Increased our popularity in 5 regions, but lost us in 40 regions. So disappointing, but it looks like it was on the cusp of a B- rating, I believe. So, I guess for now I can take that. I know the show was a little match heavy, but as of right now, I mean, with the 2 hours, sometimes it's going to be hard doing a lot of angle heavy shows. But I don't want to put it back to 3 hours, because then I'm going to be struggling to fill the whole 3 hours. And I don't really want to do a 2.5-hour show either. But, got to make do with what you have. A couple things before I end this episode. If you check out my YouTube channel, not you obviously you're watching the YouTube channel. I'm talking about my Twitter account. I do have a Twitter account, which the link is below in the on the YouTube page, and I have been announcing participants for the first ever WWE Cruiserweight Classic, which will be, I'm gonna say it'll start sometime in October in game time. The first two participants I've announced is none other than the aerial assassin Will Ospreay and the premier athlete Tony Nese. So, follow me on Twitter and you'll get constant updates on the Cruiserweight Classic and any other, random notes I might have about the game and whatnot. And also, one more other important announcement. I'm going to be starting a second series based on WWF in 1987, which will be called The Price of Hulkamania. And I'm probably going to have the first episode of that up probably later tonight. So by the time you're probably listening to this, I will already have it up on my YouTube channel. So, if you're interested in old school WWF, WWE, definitely check out that series as well. I'm going to try to do both and keep up with both. But until then, take care. Peace.